Have you ever wondered why the technique that you practice religiously never seems to work when you're going live against someone? Well, stay tuned and I will give you my opinion on what's probably going wrong. Hi, I'm Tony Cecchine and welcome to the channel. You know, I'm willing to wager each and every one of us has worked on a technique so thoroughly that we thought we had it down pat, and then when it comes time to do it live, it doesn't go quite as planned. You know, that's not a unique phenomenon. That happens quite regularly, and one of the reasons is when you're drilling, you're trying to set up the optimum resistance, let's say, if you're the training partner, that isn't overwhelming the protagonist, the person that's actually doing the technique. So therefore you drill over and over and over to get your muscle memory, to get your brain and everything on the same page so you can pull off the technique without too much hassle. But as you find out, when a person starts to go live and gives you a different kind of energy or resistance, you may fall apart. And the thing here to focus on is that while you're doing this, you're fighting to make that hold work. Let's say it's a straight armbar. So you're working so intently on making that straight armbar work, as opposed to dealing with the opponent and what he is giving you. So let me make this a little bit clearer, perhaps. Yes, you have to master the mechanics of the specific technique. That comes from positive and as near to perfect execution and reps as possible. Thousands upon thousands of reps. But you cannot become so focused on that, to have that tunnel vision when you're going live, to not deal with the reaction of your opponent. Because sometimes it's simpler to just move on to a different hold, because you didn't get the jump on a guy, let's say. He was able to counter you in such a way that, you have never drilled this before. So even though you have 10,000 reps on the straight armbar, you don't have one rep in the way this opponent has just countered you, let's say, okay? So it's new territory. So my point is, always focus on the opponent. You use your techniques that you have in your bag of tricks appropriately, but this is where improvising comes into play. Not only do you have to know the hold, and those reps will let you know that you know the hold, now you have to learn to improvise and make subtle changes on the fly. And this is something that drilling, perhaps, if you're just drilling monotonously, will not give you. So you have to develop your mind and you have to be open-minded enough to know that you're going to have to make adjustments. It wasn't the technique that failed you. It was that you never practiced with the appropriate reps in the way that the opponent countered you. So really, don't get discouraged. Now in training, it's impossible to cover all the bases. Just like you could go up to somebody and ask them a question and ask 5 other people and you may get a different answer. And some of these answers may be something you never would have thought of. That's how your training is too. Somebody will counter you or give you a different energy than you've experienced in your training. So what you have to do is get enough techniques in your bag to have a large vocabulary. I like to use that term. You have to have a vocabulary of techniques to draw from. So even though you may be single-minded on, I want to get this armbar, it just may not come out that way. And that doesn't mean that you give up totally, but maybe you abandon that move before it's too late, before you're in a point of no return situation, and either rip him, strike him, or just flow into a different position or into a different lock. But just remember this, more than likely it wasn't the technique that failed you. You were just in a situation that you never saw before and weren't prepared for it. So mentally be prepared for the unexpected. Well, I hope this little video shed some light on a common training problem. I want to thank you again for coming to the channel. I'm always at catchrussell.com. If you can do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button and ring that bell so you can get updates on all the new videos that I put out. It's good seeing you as always. Talk to you real soon.